Hi, this is Jeff Bentley, Averett Sports Information, here with head coach Tommy Owen. Ahead of the national tournament this weekend, but Tommy, let's first take it back to regionals. Really quite an exciting weekend for your program. 3 national qualifiers, Sam Braswell 125 pounds, Brandon Woody 141 pounds, and Jared Lough 157. So let's first start with Sam and Jared. Similar paths there. Both win their quarterfinal matches on Friday, get their semifinal matches, and win to qualify. So just talk about those two first, and how proud you are of them, and really making history here in the second year of the program.
Yeah, they both really just took care of business. We were the 2 seed at both weights. Thought we really liked the positions we were in. In the bracket, who we were going to wrestle, in the second round, and then with their semifinal matches, Sam had a kid we'd beaten a couple times, lost to him once, but so we felt really confident there, and he just really probably had one of his best matches of the year in the semifinals, and got the job done, and it was pretty exciting, because even though it doesn't matter what your seed at regionals, when you're only taking the top 3, and in our region is pretty competitive and pretty balanced, it's not like we were the number 2 seed by a real big margin, but we felt real confident with him. He felt confident going in, and went and wrestled really well to get into the finals. And the finals didn't go the way we wanted. We had to clean some stuff up with him. That's the second time that kid has beat us pretty good, but it's all improvement, and I think the biggest thing for him is get that relief. Now you're a national qualifier. Now he can move forward, and I think take some pressure off. And then Jared, the same thing. Jared just went and took care of business. Had a tough Greensboro kid in the second round, and I thought we dominated him, and he dominated in his first match, and really just dominated the whole tournament. And the score in the semifinals with a real tough kid. I think kid only had 2 losses on the year. Or Jared was the 3 seed actually, so that kid was the 2. But pretty even matchup, and we get away in the second period, no takedowns, 1-0 third period, and we ride the guy out for a 1-0 win. I just think that shows what he's capable of, what he can do. To ride a kid out in the third period. I believe that kid was a returning national qualifier. Kid really knows how to wrestle, and a lot of people at the tournament were, we hadn't gotten to watch him, but everyone said, yeah, this kid's pretty tough, and I thought we manhandled him. The kid was never close to scoring. He really wasn't even close to getting away, and I just think it shows what Jared's goals are and what he wanted and how he is as a competitor. And then the finals, we wrestled a returning All-American in the finals and got beat a little bit, making some mistakes, but he put himself in a good position to move forward and feel real good about his performance.
And then coach turned over to Brandon Woody at 141 pounds. Came into the regionals as the number 1 seed, and gets upset that first round, and then wrestles all the way back 5 straight matches to get to nationals. And so let's just first start with his road, the guys he had to go through, and then finish it off. Just talk about that 3rd place match. Really exciting match. The times that I've been around wrestling is probably one of the more thrilling matches I've ever seen. With your season on the line, and Brandon gets it done and qualifies, winning 7-6. So just talk about that match and just the character of the kid that you have there.
Yeah, it was. He did have a tough road. Even he was the number 1 seed at a really even weight. But then his draw, even if he would have kept winning, would have been tough. And I don't know if that had anything to do with it. We never talked to him about where he was or who he was going to wrestle. But we go out there and we're beating a kid 6-3. Kid's not close to scoring, and had just a mental letdown, and got taken to our back and just never were able to rebound in the 3rd period. And so then he loses, and then it is. You put yourself in a really tough spot. And his road going back was going to be tough. When we looked at the brackets, it's not like he had to wrestle the best kids to go to the national tournament. And he was down at first, but you could tell right before his second match that something triggered in him, and you could just see it in his face that I don't know. Sometimes you have that as an athlete. You're just like, what did I just do? And some kids get real down and let it affect them, and he didn't. He picked himself back up.
Jared, let's start with you. Let's talk about your regional performance. Took second, 157 pounds. So just talk about your tournament, what your thoughts were and how excited you are for this weekend.
I think my tournament went pretty well. I set out to win it, and I fell a little short from it, but at the end of the day, I went out there and I looked at it. I just had to get the first 4 matches, done and out the way. Had to grind through it and make sure I at least made it to nationals. After that semifinals match, pretty much knew I had it in the bag, knew I was going to nationals, so the finals was kind of just go out there and feel the guy out and do what I got to do just to try to move on. Didn't go my way that final match, but it set me up to go back and look at some of the things I've been doing and got to get back to some of the old things and things like that. So it kind of just helped me realize there's some more things I had to work on. So this weekend definitely gonna try to go back to some older ways and just get it done.
And then Sam, let's turn over to you. You also took second, but at 125 pounds. So just talk about your road to nationals and just, a quick recap of the regional tournament.
Every kid I wrestled them previous in the season, so I knew what I had to do and what I was getting into stepping on the mat. I knew I could win my semifinals match, and I just went out there, put the pace on the kid, put my pressure on the kid, and I ended up winning the match, so I made it to the finals. And I also played second, like you said. I fell a little short. I got to work on not getting tilted and keeping things on my feet, because that's where I'm best at. I feel like I'm one of the best in the country at that. So.
Well, we wrestled the McDaniel kid who gave us a lot of trouble in a dual meet earlier in the year, and Brandon just went out there and put it on him and rolled him over and pinned him. And then he came back Saturday morning and to get in. I think he had the maybe the Wilkes kid, in a closer match than what I thought it could have been. But Brandon wrestled really well, and I think majored him maybe, or had a lot of points. And then to get him for third and fourth, he had to beat the returning regional champion, and that's never easy. And he takes care of that. And then the third and fourth place match, it's it wasn't just about Brandon or the national qualifiers, it's just our program in general, just where we were sitting. There's such a big difference between 2 and 3 national qualifiers, and everything we do is about the kids, but it's also there's a bigger picture looking at it. You have 2 national qualifiers, hey, that's great, but if you have 3, you're in the upper echelon of what people are qualifying. And so there was a lot at stake for him. I know he didn't want to sit at home. I know last year him and Sam, didn't qualify, and I know it hurt. And so you're in that position. The kid from Greensboro, though he was a freshman, really came on late in the year. He had a good year overall, but really at the end of the year, he was a force at the end of the year, and it was a great match. We were up by 2 going in the third period. Guy gets away, and somehow nobody scored, and it was the way the match was wrestled too. He didn't make it easy on anybody. We really hung on to a 1-point lead and had some good scrambles, and and then at the end of it, you're going to be excited for anybody to make the national tournament, but Brandon is the kid that shows up every day, works hard, does what he's supposed to do. He's a great teammate. He lives life the right way, and he's the example that we want on our team. We don't expect every kid to be like Brandon. Kids are going to be themselves, especially when they're in college. But Brandon is the example of this is how you should act. This is how you should treat what you're doing. And for him to qualify and to do it the way he did, it just shows consistency and persistence, and hard work pays off.
And then Brandon, quite the feel-good story. You get upset first round, but you wrestle all the way back to qualify for the national tournament. So just talk about your road and just how excited you are for this weekend.
Yeah, I had a major setback. My first match, losing the first match, and I had to win 5 in a row. In that, winning 5 in a row, I pretty much knew that I had it, especially after winning the first 2 matches by pin, when I normally don't even pin anybody. During the second day, even to go for the match to go to nationals, I had to wrestle the returning regional champ. And after beating him, I pretty much knew that I had it in me to win it, to get third, and qualify for nationals.
We just feel like we had the guy that does everything right, and he deserved to go, and this time was rewarded. So that was thrilling. I think just for the team, the mentality, the atmosphere, just the camaraderie of everything. Brandon is he's not the spark plug, that kind of gets everything going, but Brandon's the backbone of what we stand for at Averett, and our coaching staff, and hard work, and just doing. I wouldn't say doing what you're told, but doing what you're asked to do. We don't ask a whole lot. We ask them to work hard, and that is a lot. And Brandon does that for us, and so I think it's just a catalyst, and you could see it on everybody's face. And I think overall in the tournament in general, I think we showed a lot of that. Last year we had 5 kids win a match, 3 kids into the second day of the tournament. This year we had 8 weight classes win a match. We had 2 kids that were hurt that didn't go to the tournament, and we had another kid that was hurt at the tournament. I think still to show up and get wins at 8 weight classes, and 4 guys in the second day. I just think that performance can with Brandon's performance going into 3rd and 4th, we really felt we took 10th. We thought we could be up a little higher. We really thought going in a couple other things, a couple other match wins. We thought we'd be in the top 6, maybe even top 5. And if you look at it, we weren't that far away. You're only a couple wins, points wise. And so going into Brandon's match, there's a lot of excitement for our teams. Like, okay, we win this match, 3 qualifiers, top 10 finish. We really gonna feel good. So it capped off a good weekend for our team.
And then Tommy, let's turn it over to this past 2 weeks. Kind of uncharted territory for your program, obviously. So what's the preparation been like? For preparing for the national tournament. Especially with your kids on spring break, and but obviously your qualifiers still here. So just talk about practice and what's kind of been going on. Yeah,
it's a smaller group. So you got to get. I wouldn't say you have to get creative. We've done some different things. You have to stay consistent. What we've done all year, we've done because we believe we're going to be at the national tournament. Our whole training cycle. We put our schedule and our training schedule together from the national tournament backwards, and we expected to be here. I don't think there was any time during the season that we weren't talking about we're doing it to be at the national tournament. And so I think we just stayed the course. We had a real similar schedule with some of these guys going into the regional tournament where we had a weekend off and then went to the regional tournament. Some guys wrestled, but it just kind of we tried to emulate what we did those 2 weeks because we thought our team wrestled well at the regionals. But it's just more intense. You can see it on the guys. The last couple of days of practice have been the best practices of the year, and I just think that it's that time of year. You come back next week after the regional tournament. It took us a couple days to get into it. I think sometimes you ride the high of, I qualified, and you kind of, I just qualified. It's like, no, the goal is not to qualify. The goal is to go win a national championship. The goal is to be an All-American. And so you kind of got to bring them back down, and the only way to do that is just keep doing what we've been doing all year. The amount of live we've wrestled is stayed the same. The amount of drilling we're doing stayed the same. We did some different things over the weekend, with training, and I think that really helped to kind of, put them in a different environment, put them in a situation where it's like, okay, this is it. And then we came back this week, and we feel really good. The guys are healthy. Today will be our last, practice at home, and, it's just, light practice getting them ready. But, overall, with the 3 guys going to nationals, we couldn't be healthier. We'll find out, going into the tournament how they feel mentally, but just health-wise and attitude-wise and excitement-wise, we're really ready to go. And I just think, the national tournament, it's just whoever shows up and wrestles well. You need a lot of luck. It's a lot of skill involved too, but there's 18 guys at each weight, and they're probably the best 18 guys in the country. There might be a couple regions where there's 4 good guys at a weight or 5, but for the most part, these are the 18 best kids. So starting from match number 1, you really have to be ready. And I think they benefit. I'm a little. I pretend to be young, but I'm quite a bit older than them. But both my with both the assistants, Blake and IB and myself, we've all wrestled at the national tournament. I'm hoping that really benefits the guys because we've been through it. We know what it takes. In terms of the preparation when you get there, when we're leaving, just even because we have 3 young kids that we're taking, and there's nobody on the team that has that experience. So I think hopefully they can lean on us, and we can put a schedule together to keep them calm and keep them relaxed. And we're going to leave earlier in the morning tomorrow so they can get there and kind of get the sights out of the way, be around the other guys. We'll work out early, and so hopefully all that together we can go have a good performance.
Guys, let's talk about the last week of training. Jared, let's start with you. You can each take turns at this question. So, kind of uncharted, like I was talking with Coach Tommy, kind of uncharted territory for this program. In preparing for a national tournament. So just talk about the last 2 weeks of training and what's been kind of going on, and just give us an update.
Basically, last week was mainly, getting, a little lift in and getting some nice wrestling in, just, getting our bodies ready for this week. Had to pull back a little bit just because we got off the mat and everything like that. So, we kind of had more a laid-back schedule, but it was still, tough and very get at it just to, get our bodies ready. This week right now, it's just, get our weight down and make sure we're feeling good, eating right, and just pretty much being prepared to go at it at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday.
I think the last 2 weeks of training, I wanted to work on not getting tilted, work on things that I'm good at, that I'm best at, wrestle in my best positions, but also wrestle in my worst positions just in case they come up during nationals.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm agreeing with them. The past 2 weeks were pretty good, and I feel like our coaches, they're putting it together where we have the best chance at succeeding at nationals.
And then Tommy, just talk about finally make it to the national tournament. Since you got the job here, one of your goals is to be at this stage, and so you're finally here. And so just talk about your own excitement, your staff's excitement, and then for your wrestlers, and what do you got to do this weekend to get the job done?
Yeah, I just think it is for me personally. This is. Yeah, you're pleased. Like, I'm excited. I would probably say that Blake and I are way more excited than I am. You live with them. You probably know. I think this is, they're pretty excited. I think, anytime you're in coaching, I'll be excited after the national tournament. This is just, this is what I do, and it's why I like to do it. It's, you just, the goal is to be at the national tournament. So it is exciting, but at the same time, I don't have any more excitement than I did going into the regional tournament. I was probably more nervous at the regional tournament than I am now. I just feel we have 3 prepared kids. So I'm ready to go. Going into the regional tournament, you're nervous. We got to get this done. Where this weekend you're going in, it's this is where you're supposed to be, and this is why we train. So it's not taking anything away from the excitement or the accomplishment, but we work really hard in our office. We prepare for this year round. We do the off season, and so I just think when you do that, I don't know if excitement's the word to use. It's more relieving. It's you're more accomplished with, you're getting the job done. But it's fun overall. I have more fun at this time of year. The excitement and the nervousness was at the regionals. Now it's fun. I think I've been more relaxed than my 2 assistants. They've been. I'm hoping they don't get sick because they're so nervous to go, and I just think this is the fun part. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying watching the guys. I'm enjoying watching Blake and IB. Blake's been in college coaching for a couple years. I believe this is the first time he's going to the national tournament. IB, this is his first year coaching, going to the national tournament. So he's got spoiled first year getting 3, and so for them it's this is their first time, and I've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to take athletes to national tournaments before. So I'm ready. They're ready. Program-wise in general, this is huge for us. It's been huge in recruiting.
Talk about this upcoming weekend. You've been this is something you guys have been working for since October, and it's finally here. So just talk about your excitement level. Where your head's at right now, and what the feelings are going into this weekend.
I'm pretty much just basically excited. I'm ready for the moment. It's just a big moment to, go out there and prove ourselves and, enjoy the moment. Enjoy, the last 5 months of wrestling season's been leading up just to this one moment. So we got to go out and enjoy the moment, but at the same time go out there hard and, execute what we've been training for.
Last week I was a little nervous, but this week I'm just ready to get it done, ready to do what I trained to do all season. Just got to go out there and wrestle 7 minutes hard each match. And get that national championship or All-American status.
Yeah, I'm very excited. This is what I've been training for the past 2 years, was to be in this stage, and now I'm here and it's time to get the job done.
And so now this is huge for us. This is huge for Averett. I think it's huge for the program. I don't think you can just go take 3 guys every year to the national tournament. You have to really work for it. I just think, overall, that's just more the excitement part for me. It's just, okay, we can get it done here. We know we can get it done, and now we just got to go show up and be a lot nicer to tell someone we have some All-Americans.